In today's video, we're gonna be stepping into some hotly contested territory. We're talking about affordable gas blowback rifles. Are they worth it? Let's get into it. What's going on, Mail Gang? Boaz here. Obviously here at the GI team, I am the dedicated gas enthusiast. I am an avid gas consumer. I burn gas all the time. Okay, I have a gas-powered car, gas-powered stove, and I run gas blowback airsoft guns. Okay, so gas is kind of my thing, and it's definitely taken me on a wild ride throughout the years. I've tried multiple different platforms for the gas blowback primary, all yielding different results. But today we're gonna be taking a look at what I would say will be a very affordably priced gas blowback rifle, and we're just gonna see if it's worth it or not for players to get into the gas blowback scene with something like this. And in front of me here today is going to be the Golden Eagle Block 3 gas blowback M4 GBBR, distributed by Lancer Tactical. So right off the gate, obviously, as you can see here, you have the nice big ol' Lancer Tactical logo slapped onto this guy. But just make no mistake, this is not made by Lancer Tactical. This is made by Golden Eagle. Lancer Tactical just happens to import them into the US, which is why they slapped their logo on this thing. But a little bit about Golden Eagle. Golden Eagle has been around for a very long time. They make all sorts of airsoft guns, from like the really cheapo, like low power AEGs, they make AEGs, and they make gas blowback airsoft guns as well, ranging from gas blowback pistols to gas powered shotguns and even full blown gas blowback rifles. But this is their newest iteration with the Block 3, so let's take a closer look. First things first, because this is a gas blowback rifle and this is probably one of their more serious offerings from Golden Eagle, it's going to be full metal. Overall build quality, I'd say it's fairly decent. Are there gas blowback rifles out there on the market that are going to have better finishes, better fit and finish, stuff like that? Absolutely, but they're obviously going to be a lot more expensive than this guy. But just holding it in the hands right now, there is a slight amount of receiver wobble that I'm feeling here, which is to be expected. Again, this is a very low cost gas blowback rifle in my opinion. So that is part of the trade-off, is that, yeah, the receiver is gonna wiggle a little bit. Is it a deal breaker? For me personally, no. I've owned plenty of gas blowback rifles that cost way more than this, that have way more receiver slop than this guy. But aside from that, this one is going to be the 13-inch one, so it's going to be that carbine length, 13-inch outer barrel, 13-inch inner barrel, and you have the very nice 7-sided M-LOK rail. It kind of looks like the Ergi style, but you can notice there are some slight differences. They did cut out some more, I guess, material on the 45-degree angles here, making the handguard a little bit slimmer. Golden Eagle kind of has a history, a tendency to kind of overdo the rail system, but it's very nice to see that they just did a nice subdued look on this guy, so it looks pretty nice in my opinion. Looking closer here at the receiver group of this gas blowback rifle, it's going to look pretty bog standard, but if you take a closer look, you're going to notice that Golden Eagle has added a couple of finishing touches which I think are really nice additions to this gun. First of all, being the fire selector. It is ambidextrous, that's right. But one thing that I love that Golden Eagle did is that on the right hand side of the gun, so if you're a lefty, where you have your typical fire selector, the size is slightly reduced. It's slightly smaller on that side. So if you're a right-hander like me and you're flipping through the selector, sometimes if both sides are identical to each other in size, it will kind of bump or interfere with your firing hand. So it's nice that they made it slightly smaller so that way it stays out of the way. Next up is going to be the anti-walk, anti-rotation pins that they've included out of the box, because certain gas blowback rifle platforms, over time, these trigger pins eventually start to walk out on you. So you'd have to do that aftermarket, but it's nice to see that Golden Eagle has just done it out of the box for you, so you don't have to worry about that ever. great touch. And finally, it's going to be the ambidextrous charging handle, which is nice because you can access it from both sides. And the best part is it looks nice. It doesn't look like super overdone or weird looking. It's very subdued and it gets the job done. And to finish off the external features of the Golden Eagle Block 3 is going to be obviously the standard, bog standard A2 style pistol grip. Don't worry, this can be easily changed out with any gas blowback rifle pistol grip or a real AR-15 style pistol grip if you choose. And finally on the rear is the Delta stock. Now, it's a very nice touch that Lance Tactical did to the Block 3. They just added their own flavor with the Delta stock. I think it looks pretty nice, especially on the overall build. And finally, it's gonna come with these horrendous, absolutely ugly, foul-looking polymer flip-up sights. I don't know why Airsoft companies still come out with sights like these. It has like the pistol-style, low-profile sights with the fiber optics on them, completely useless. You're not gonna use it. And when you flip it up, you know, there's just regular sights. It just does the job, but it's just so bulky and obtrusive. It just gets in the way. Honestly, just yeet the sights, maybe get something from PTS or whatnot, and get something low profile if you want to rock iron sights, because these guys are just horrendous. Again, Golden Eagle, why you gotta include this? This is absolutely terrible. As I've said before, Golden Eagle has been making some gas blowback airsoft guns for some time. Obviously, like I said, they make pistols, shotguns, and rifles. Now, with the Golden Eagle gas-fed rifles, I believe in the past we have noticed that they've used the older Western Arms system for their older models, and now with the Block 3, we noticed they kind of changed things up a bit. So from our testing, looking at the internals, it seems like it's using somewhat of the GHK version 2 system. So if you guys don't know, the GHK also borrows largely from Western Arms. They have slightly changed some of the specs and some of their parts, obviously, to be their own system, but mainly it's still drawing upon the same overall Western Arms branch for the gas blowback system. So it's pretty interesting to see that Golden Eagle is now evolving past the original Western Arms, because that system is kind of slowly going away, and they branched out into GHK. Now, the reason why I say it's kind of like a version 2 is because from the rest of the parts, it seems like it's using the standard version 2 GHK parts, but the hop-up unit is where things get very interesting. So from when we opened this gun up, it seemed like at a first glance, we thought it was the version 3 hop-up unit, but instead, it's using this weird hybrid form where you're using that same kind of methodology to adjust the hop-up, the version 3 hop-up. So there is a little grub screw underneath the hop-up unit, which you can take a 1.5mm hex key and adjust it, or better yet, get the GHK hop-up tool for this guy to adjust it. But the inner barrel and the bucking is AEG spec like the GHK version 2, which, like I said, extremely interesting. Now, also one telltale sign is going to be the magazine. So this is a 35 round magazine that Golden Eagle will include out of the box. It's pretty nice. It has really nice waffle texture where the gas port, the inlet valve, and the knocker, the way it's positioned, it does really much seem like a GHK clone, basically. The rundown is, can you put aftermarket components in this? Yes, but if you are, stick largely to GHK version 2. Will this fit other aftermarket version 3 hop-up units from GHK? 50-50. I can't give you a definitive answer on that. But from our range testing, we're able to see that from stock, without doing anything to the gun itself, it will have a maximum effective range about 250 feet using 0.30 gram BBs, which is pretty good. However, once we started spam firing this guy on semi-auto, the spread, I guess, of BBs have gotten pretty wide. I would say it's anywhere between like a 6 to 9 feet deviancy left or right. This thing really starts to open up. So one thing that we did is that we ended up swapping out the inner barrel and bucking to a Unicorn AEG inner barrel and bucking, and it really dramatically reduced the spread at those distances. But I would say if you're gonna run this guy plain Jane stock, expect to have that range sweet spot about 150 to 180 feet is probably where you're gonna get the best accuracy for this guy. Since most of you guys who are watching this are going to be primary AEG users, you guys might see this and think, wow, my AG is like way more accurate than that. And that might be true, but one thing about gas blowback rifles in general is obviously recoil. So recoil does become a factor, and it will start to affect your accuracy, especially at longer distances. This is seen through pretty much every gas blowback rifle out there on the market. With that being said, when we measured this guy up with a chrono, it chronos anywhere between 390 to 415 feet per second using a 0.2 gram BB and green gas at normal room temperature, and has a rate of fire about 15 rounds per second with the fully filled green gas magazine. Okay, so as you can see, it's shooting pretty dang hot, and that's because of the barrel length. So the longer the inner barrel is on a gas blowback airsoft gun, the hotter it's going to shoot. That's generally the rule of thumb. So a couple ways to remedy this is, number one, getting a GHK spec NPAS or adjustable valve system into your bolt. That would solve the problem. Number two would be to run a shorter length inner barrel if that's the route you want to go. Or number three is just running some lower pressure green gas that we have at airsoftgi.com, and that should also bring the muzzle velocity down to more of an acceptable level. The most important thing about this guy is going to be the price, because right now at airsoftgi.com, the Golden Eagle Block 3 gas blowback rifle retails for $278. That's right, a full metal, fully functioning gas blowback rifle, which by the way, we have mags for these, so you can get a full loadout with this, by the way, for $278. That's kind of a steal, especially getting into the gas blowback world. This is using the supported GHK system, so if you wanted to find extra parts, upgrade this guy as you go, you definitely can. I would say stock performance is definitely acceptable for a gas blowback rifle, but it's less than $300. Okay, so I brought in Cisco here, who is also somewhat of a gas blowback enthusiast as well, and we're just gonna talk about this. As players, as airsoft enthusiasts, do you think the Golden Eagle Block 3 M4 or this kind of system, especially those lower cost gas blowback rifles, is it worth it for an airsoft player, especially in the long run?
I would say yes. $280-ish, $270 something, right? I think this is filling a gap in the gas blowback market that is like really needed, because before this was available, there were other Western Arms clones that were using the original system that isn't supported anymore.
Yeah, and also Golden Eagle, they used to make these, those like Western Arms clones in polymer.
Yeah.
Which is not the best.
No, yeah, so for me personally, I've owned quite a few different gas blowback platforms from KWA, Tokyo Marui. This right here, considering the performance that you're getting out of the box, it being full metal, supported currently with GHK version 2 parts. I personally think that using an AEG inner bucking and barrel, inner barrel and bucking are a pro, because those are going to be more readily available compared to some more unique gas blowback cut barrels.
Yes.
So, especially at that price range, I think this is a really good deal. I think it's well worth investing into, considering that it's something that's going to be sustainable over time.
I would actually say no.
Really?
Yeah, I would actually say
what?
No. Yeah. And that's just not being salty that I spent over $1,200 on my Tokyo Marui MWS. It's totally aside from that point. But personally for me, I think that with the gas blowback rifle, there really isn't, like what you said, like a true like entry level point.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it is really cool that Golden Eagle is starting to step up their game. So they're releasing these full metal gas blowback rifles at an affordable price and using a supported system. That is cool, but I think especially in the United States and North America, I think right now everyone is kind of gearing towards the Tokyo Marui MWS system.
Yeah.
And so I think as time goes on, I think more and more people are going to migrate over to the MWS system, just because of how well it performs, like natively, just because it's the Japanese space magic.
When did the MWS originally come out?
It was like mid 2010s, like I think it's around like 2014, 2015.
Yeah, but we're only now seeing a lot of aftermarket support.
Well, now it's like exploded.
Yeah,
you know, the
exactly.
aftermarket has exploded because everyone's like moving towards the gas blowback scene.
Yeah.
And we see that in Asia.
Yeah,
And
of
so,
course.
Yeah, and now
I mean,
that's
pretty much
starting to-
all of Asia is using gas
Yeah,
blowback.
and now that's trickling into the U.S. So I would say personally, I think the pros that the Double Eagle Block 3 has going for it is obviously number one, the price.
Yep.
Right, getting a full metal gas blowback airsoft gun that is supported, right, for less than $200. That's pro number one. Pro number two, obviously, there are parts available for it. Number three is that I think the performance for a $300 gas blower rifle is very reasonable. You can actually take this out to a field and play with it.
Yep.
So I would say the performance is decent. But I think the cons, number one, is that it's using GHK, the GHK system, which is, in my opinion, I think as time goes on, we're gonna see less and less of that.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair.
and then number two is obviously like not every single part of the GHK system is gonna fit into this gun.
Yeah, you said it was like a hybrid.
Yeah,
between
it's a
the
weird
two.
hybrid, yeah.
Specifically the
Yeah,
hop-up unit.
Yeah, and also the next con is the AG barrel and bucking. It sounds convenient, but in my opinion, I think gas blowback barrel and buckings are just better.
You know, I mixed feelings about that. I haven't really had a chance to well, I don't think there's ever been a real comparison of like an AEG inner barrel to a gas blowback.
Well, I would say
in
this.
fair comparison.
There's a reason why Tokyo Marine uses for the VSR 10. The reason why they use the gas blowback barrel and bucking. There is a reason.
Yeah, it's called convenience.
Maybe it's because it's better. Maybe it's because it's better. Who knows?
Because they didn't want to design something completely new.
Yeah.
Either way, personally, I think it's actually a really good starting point if you are trying to get your feet wet into the gas blowback world. Under $300, full metal gas blowback system that is supported, I would have killed for this 10, 15, even 5 years ago. Like, this is actually something pretty cool that you should definitely take a look at.
You know, maybe that's something I will agree with you. Golden Eagle has definitely stepped up their game. I'm definitely a lot more impressed with it than its previous iterations with the way cheaper guns out that they released.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that about wraps it up, guys, for our overview on the Golden Eagle Block 3 gas blower rifle. You can find these right now at airsoftga.com. Like I said, it's $278. That automatically gives you free shipping with this gun. And if you guys like the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and also to ring that bell icon to get notified of every time we upload a new video. And what is the best way to support the channel?
By going to airsoftga.com and picking up all your airsoft goodies. BBs, green gas, optics, batteries, and complete airsoft guns are available right now. Don't miss out. We always have savings going on, so check the website periodically so you can get the best deals.
That's right. But that's about it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Boaz,
My name is Cisco.
and we'll catch you next time, Mail Gang.
Peace, y'all.